So first, please subscribe our channel and like this video, press the bell icon, and make sure to join our WhatsApp and Telegram.
Hello friends, welcome back to our channel Bangan Theory. So guys, with this video we are going to introduce a new series that is on web development. In this series we are going to see different technologies that are used in web development like HTML, Java and JavaScript and many more. So in today's video I am going to give a brief introduction about HTML5. So let's start the video with introduction. So firstly, let me give you the short introduction about HTML5. So HTML5 is a markup language, has been come into existence around January 2008. So basically it is a markup language that was come into existence in year 2008. So the main major organization is involved in the development of HTML5 since its initiating time was W3C, that is World Wide Web Consortium, and the another one is WHATWG, that is World Hypertext Application Technology Working Group. So let's have a look. HTML5 is the newest version of hypertext markup language, the first web browser introduced in 1993. So we can say that the first web browser was introduced in 1993 and the name was Mosaic. So the development of Mosaic was at the NCSA, National Center of Supercomputing Applications. So though the HTML5 is still under the developing phase, we can say that the HTML5 is not the very much developed language, but yes, it is in the under developing phase, and a lot of organization is working and planning to develop HTML5. We can't expect that the HTML may be the future of web designing, but yes, we can say that the HTML is the present of web designing and web development. So HTML5, we were in compulsion to work on Photoshop and Flash application, but with the development of HTML5 we get to see that there is a lot of efforts and code is reduced. We don't need to write very long codes and scripts, and we can easily develop very useful website and web designs with the help of tagging easily. So new elements, so as we get to know that in HTML5 there is a lot of new elements involved, and some old elements has been removed from it, and to make it more efficient there is a lot of tags and elements are involved. So let's have a look at these. So these are the several elements, or we can say the tags that are involved in HTML5. So first one is aside, that is used to define the content aside from the page content. Suppose in our web page there is a different kind of content, and we want to differentiate the particular content from other ones. So we can easily done this action with the help of aside tag, aside element. And second one is audio, that is used to define sound content. Then we have a BDI, that is a bidirectional notation tag. Basically it isolates a part of a text that might be formatted in a different direction from other text outside it. And then we have a canvas element. Basically canvas element is not supported by HTML5, but yes, if we want to implement graphics in our code or in our web page, so we can done this with the help of JavaScript. Then we have a command element is very useful in several cases. Suppose a user want to invoke or user want to give a command button, that so we can done all these operations with the help of command element. And then we have a data list. Data list is a very useful in forms because it specifies a list of predefined options for input controls. Means in that there is a predefined data set that we are using as an input control. And then we have a defined element that is used to define an article of an article. And then after that we have details element. It defines additional details that the user can view or hide. Suppose user want to hide or represent additional detail about the data, so he can easily done all this operation with the help of details. Then we have embed. Embed is a external application or interactive content. It is a kind of a plugin that we are using. Then we have figure. In HTML5, Figure element specifies self-contained content like illustration, diagrams, photos. Suppose we want to involve code, or we want to implement code in our implement images in our code, so we can done with the help of figure element. Then we have figure caption. Suppose we want to define a caption for our figure, or we want to define something about the figure or image, we can done with the help of figure caption. Then we have a footer. Footer is a basic document or a section that is assigned for a particular region. And similarly, header. In header defines a header for a document or a section. Then we have edge group, that is a set of groups which range from H1 to H6, and that are very much useful for headings. And then we have keygen, that is define a key pair generator field. It is widely used for forms. Then we have mark element, defines a mark highlighted text. Suppose we want to highlight some portion or some text or maybe anything in our code, so we can done with the help of mark element. Then we have meter, defines a scalar measurement within a known range, means we get to know that it is widely used for measurement. And then we have nav is a navigation used for navigation links. Then after that we have output element, defines the result of a calculation. Basically, suppose we want to define our calculation or mathematical implementation, that can be done with the help of output. After that we have progress. It represents the progress of a task. Suppose we want to represent any task, any data set, that can be represented with the help of progress element. After that, Ruby. Ruby is a special one that is used to define a Ruby annotation for East Asian typography. East Asian typography involves like Japanese language, Chinese language. After that we have RT. RT element defines an explanation, pronunciation of characters for East Asian typography. Then after that we have RP, defines what to show in browser that do not support by Ruby annotation. And then we have section element, define a section in a document. Source element, that is very useful and very widely used in day-to-day web page designing and web designing and web development. So defines multiple media resources for video and audio. After that, summary. Summary defines a visual heading for a details element. And then track. Track, it defines the text track for video and audio. Time, that is widely used. Suppose a user want to define a system time, a system clock, how we can perform that action in HTML. So that can be done with the help of time element. Video element. Video element is similar to the time. It is used to define a particular video or movie. And WBR defines a possible link break. So doc type. What is doc type in HTML? That is a basic question that can be arise during interview round. So the simple answer is that doc type is an element which tells the browser about the HTML version. You can simply say that it is a element that is used to define the version of HTML. Doc type is not a HTML type, but for the proper SEO purpose and introducing the version of HTML to the browser, the tag is very useful. So HTML is not based on HTML, so there is no need to declaration of DTD with the doc type tag. So let's have a look at the example of HTML page. So here is a doc type HTML that is used to define the document type or version of HTML. And then we have starting HTML tag and starting header head tag, and then we have a title tag. Inside the title, or title will be represented like, suppose you want a title like page title will go here, so it will mention here, and title close. Similarly, head close, and then body opening. Inside the body there is the major portion that you want to represent. In that you can easily done all the operation inside the body and body close. So the basic syntax of doc type is that. So now we are looking for article element. So an article tag is such an element of HTML5 which can be used to write the article. Suppose you want to write an article inside the HTML tag, so it can be done with the help of article tag. As an example, it is mentioned article, paragraph, your content goes here, paragraph close, and article tag close. So let's have a look at the brief example of that. So doc type HTML header, title will go here, and header close, and body. Inside the body there is an article tag, and here paragraph P, your content goes here, and paragraph close, article close. So if we with the help of browser we can get the better explanation of this. So after that we have aside tag, and aside element is used to define the tag surrounded by its familiar content. Aside element has individual importance of creating some index. Suppose a user want to create an index or a relatable index to a content, then the action can be performed with the help of aside element. So here is the syntax of aside paragraph, your content goes here and paragraph close and aside. So let's have a big brief detail about the example. So here we title, the name will go here, and then header close, body. Inside the body there is an article tag where our article will be represented or typed, and inside the article there is a side tag which want to represent or index of another article that is here. So we can easily understood the application of working of this code with the help of web browser. And then we have audio. Suppose a user want to implement some audio files or some audio files and clips in a web designing portion, so he can done all the operation with the help of audio element. So let's have a look at the example, or we can say the syntax of audio. So here is an audio tag, and then inside that there is a source of multiple audio clips, so user can easily upload, install or upload, or we can say implement audio files in his code. And here is a brief example is represented here. Audio controllers we are using here. Inside audio controller there is multiple source files, and there is a path of that audio file which we want to implement in our code. So here is audio closing tag, body closing, HTML closing. If we if we implement this, we will get to know better understanding. And then we have a BDI, that is a bidirectional element. BDI stand for bidirectional isolation element, which is one of the best feature of HTML5, especially when someone wants to display a text in the bidirectional way. What mean by bidirectional way? Suppose a user the main problem is that then when we write the Aroma, Abreu and Urdu fonts, we get to know that it shows from the opposite side of the general fonts. So browser behavior directly change for that particular text using bidirectional element. So the syntax of BDI is here. We can see that easily, and in detail we can see inside the body the code is without using BDI element is mentioned here, and the code below with using BDI element. So when we implement this code with the help of web browser, we get to know the better understanding of this. And then we have a canvas element. As I told earlier that canvas cannot be implemented in HTML5, but yes, we can implement with writing with the help of JavaScript. So whenever we are using graphics representation in our HTML5, then we need to write JavaScript as well. So don't worry about JavaScript, because in our next video we are going to give you brief introduction about JavaScript as well. So don't worry about that. So let's have a look at the canvas syntax. The canvas, some text tag, canvas close, script tag, script close. So we can see that there is a body inside that canvas ID. Canvas uses width is 180, height is 90. Here is a paragraph. Your browser does not support HTML canvas. It is a basic paragraph. You can write anything in that. So canvas close. There is a script type. Inside this script we are operating our canvas operation that we want to implement or perform. So we can get more detail in our next videos as well. So there is command element is basically used for commanding code of HTML, as if we want to save a file, open file, or anything else operation that we want to perform with the help of command function will be prompted with command element. So it can be used for radio button, checkbox and command button to invoke a particular function. Suppose you want to invoke a function in our code, so we can done with the help of command. As we can see in the example, there is a script type JavaScript, function is click, and inside the function there is an alert, you have to click me, and script close. Whenever in command type, command label click, on click action, there is an action performed. it will call the click function. Then when we call the click function, we get to know you have an alert, you have to click me. So and command is close, body element close, HTML close. Then after that we have a data list. Data list element is basically used for auto completion of the form. The complete list is put into the option box, means in that we are using predefined data set for our operations and for selection purpose. So as we can see, data list option value we have to assign, and data list close details. So in this example we get better understanding of that with the output as well. So we have head, title, body. Input list is country, data list ID country, option values are India, Australia, South Africa, Canada and America, and data list close. Or action is there, input type submit, value submit. Whenever we type anything in that, there will be a list of countries like India, Australia, South Africa, Canada, and we have to perform an action command like submit. So in that, after that we have details. Details element is used to invoke show hide function. Suppose a user want to hide something or represent, or we can say show something, that can be done with the help of details. As we can say details, summary, some content goes here, summary close, details. So here is the brief example is here, title inside the body, details, summary, this is the default content, summary close, paragraph is here, and details close. So here this is the default content. It will look like this when we use web browser. Then we have embed. Embed element is another media element which is used to call a media. Suppose you want to call a media without using path and source, we can embed that file in our source code. So a browser plugin may be required to play the media files. Embed element is specially used for calling a flash movie, as the syntax we can see. So suppose you want to embed like clock, system clock, so media clock, here is a path of that image. It can be embedded with the help of like this syntax we just need to use. So it will represent the output like this. And then we have figure. Suppose a user want to implement a figure or many more pictures and images, so it can be done with the help of figure elements. So here figure, inside figure we need to your image file with full path. We need to write the full path of my the image we want to upload or use. So the detailed code will look like paragraph. Inside the paragraph there is a figure. Inside figure we have image source, and there is the path of image. And when we run this on the web browser, we get to know this output. Then we have figure caption. As I mentioned that figure caption is a special that is used to define the figure, so that can be done with the help of figure caption. So we will see it in example. So there is a paragraph figure, here is the image source, that image we want to represent, and figure caption, this is a rose flower we want to represent, or we want to give out detail about that figure. So this is rose flower that can be given with the help of figure caption. Footer is basically element used to define a footer area of the page. Suppose you want to represent the footer area and footer section, that can be represented by footer. So if we look at the example, then we get to know here is a footer. Inside the footer we want to represent like copyright 2000 this and that, and footer close. So it can be done easily. And similarly header used to define the header region or header section or header element. So inside header we have title name, head close. So that is very easy and very reliable to implement that kind of codes. And then after that we have H group. So H group it is a commonly used for wrapping the H1 to H6 element. The H group element is useful when someone wants to put a header and subheader, we can say multiple header in a document. So that can be done with the help of H group. So here is the syntax, or we can say the example of that particular code. So here start our H group started, and H1 that is first one, this is the first heading, H2 this is the second heading, H3 the third heading, H group close. So we can represent multiple headings with the help of H group as well. And after that we have mark element. Mark element is basically used for showing a mark background. Suppose a user want to mark a background, so it can be done with the help of mark. Similarly, HTML head, body, and here is paragraph, you are using mark, so that particular paragraph will be marked as an element, so it is very much useful. Similarly, main, the main element is an alternative solution of the wrapper or container. The main document of a website can be written under main element. So the main document that is more useful and more secure data, or we can say the more reliable things that we want to implement in a code, that can be implemented in main element. And additional properties used to define this element, role is equal to main for proper rendering in web browser. So that is very useful. This element is allowed once in HTML5 document and can't be used as a child element. We can't use it as a child element. So let's have a look. So here we have header. Inside the header we have a paragraph. This is header part, header close inside, and then we have main. Inside the main we have, this is the main part we want to represent, and main close, footer close, body. So that is very much useful. And then we have menu. So inside the menu element, the menu element is a wrapper or command box in which we want to run particular command for performing its action. It represents a list of command. The additional attribute type and label is used. So we can see the example inside the menu, that is list. Button type, we are defining the button type as well, and menu ID and menu item on click, the action that we want to perform. So F new action, that will be call, and then similarly on click action, F open, file open, label open, menu item on clicks, file save, so it will perform save. And then similarly list close, list open, another list, that is menu ID, edit menu, e copy, e cut, that action that can be done with the help of that. And similarly list close, and another list that is open, that is help menu on click location. So we can see that easily that code, and the output will look like this. When we click this menu, it will show a list of that options, and then similarly in others we can see that output. Then output element is used for resulting a calculation. As I told earlier, that output is used to implement the calculation, and mathematical operation can be represented with the help of output element, so which allow user to make calculation on front end without involving much efforts. In these scenarios, a lot of websites are featured with calculation system and loan payment. So here is the example of output form on submit. There is an action, input name, and output name. It will represent look like this, and our web on a web browser, our code will look like this. Then we have Ruby element. Ruby element is a special one that is used properly rendering the East Asian language like Japanese, Chinese. According to W3C specification, it has been described as the Ruby element allows spans of phrasing content to be marked with Ruby annotation. So the Ruby element is used to display the text on the head of the base text and auto renderize the base, and the Ruby text in well manner enhance the user experience in reading the document. Suppose a user want to read a document that are in that some Japanese language and Chinese language are written, so that how the user get to know that the language, that can be done with the help of Ruby element. In that we have RT Ruby text and RP Ruby parenthesis and RB Ruby base. It is the example RB www. So Ruby text is World Wide Web. It provides a detailed information about that particular code, and we can say words. And then we have a section. Section element is used to define a particular section of main content. The main content can be written inside the article element. So the section element is used to provide semantic structure of a web page content. We can't just use it chunking an article in different parts. Here is the example of section. So in that we can see the section is divided like heading in here, or section 1 is start here, heading 2 inside that section, and paragraphs inside this section. Similarly another section is started here, and inside that there is code. And after that we have source element is used as a child element of audio and video element. the source element, search the source file and call it inside the main element. Basically it perform a searching and after that searching it perform action over that. So here we have source path and type of audio mpeg and source file and another part audio. So it will very helpful and very interesting. So next slide is SVG. So SVG element is a very vital and very useful element that is involved in HTML5. So in that, the SVG element is used for graphical representation. That is another option that we can use in our graphical representation in HTML5. So sometime we feel that we need to draw a graphical representation, like we want to represent any kind of shape, structure in our representation. Then we can easily perform this task with the help of SVG element. So in that, now the new feature of HTML5 is SVG element, that is scalable vector graphics element, by which we can also draw the graphical representation. There are some certain additional features we would like to introduce in the below given list. It defines the vector based graphics, and second one is the script of SVGs in XML format. So we can see that there the SVG script is in XML format. So and then since it is a vector based graphic, so there is no any chance to lose quality even zoom situation. So we can easily zoom our graphics in that. Every independent element can be animated also, means we can animate any independent element in that. And the last one is it is the recommendation of W3C. So here is the example of that. So here we can see that inside the body there is an SVG element. Here is the path of that particular image, and version is 1.1 and height is 190. And here our polygon points are that we are declaring that points, and then SVG close. So when we use implement this code in web browser, then it will look like this. And another element is time elements. So the time element represent either time on a 24-hour or clock or a precise date in Georgian we can say Gregorian calendar, or with the optimal time and time zone information. So basically when a user want to give a time zone, or we can say the time in our web code or website, so it can be done with the help of time element. Here is the syntax of time. So we can see that it is time specified, specify here the time and SVG time close. So then another element is video. In that we can see that the video element is used to play a movie or video clip. It is similar like in that we are providing the source code or source path of that particular video. Here is the code of that particular video, and we can see that inside the video there is a source path of multiple video files. So we can see that, and when we implement this with the help of web browser, we get to know the exact output of that particular code. It will look like this. And then we have HTML5 geolocation. That is another one and very useful we can say useful element. And approx 3 years ago, when mobile Android devices come into the boom, and today we are surrounded by many of the smartphones, and also now we are addicted to use it. So we can easily use that, and in my upcoming videos I am going to give you a brief introduction on that particular topic, and in that video I am going to give you a entire code source code with the practical implementation of that geolocation in HTML5. So please subscribe our channel and watch the video, and press the bell icon for the upcoming connectivity. And now our new element, that is WBR. The WBR element is used to change the default browser or browser of link breaking. If the sentence is too long, that the container will be breaked, or proper displaying, means if there is any kind of misbehavior of browser that can cause a problem, it will be removed with the help of WBR element. So here is the syntax of that. So here inside the body there is a paragraph. Inside the paragraph we are representing a Gmail. Maybe you can choose any of the Gmail, and the Gmail ID will be inside the WBR, that is WBR element we are using here. So we can see that or for the better implementation of that, we can use web browser for a better understanding. So thank you guys, stay connected for the second part, and in second part we are going to give you a brief code about HTML5 and very more details about HTML. So subscribe our channel, please support us and press the bell icon for upcoming videos. So stay connected, and thank you guys.
So thanks for watching. Please support our channel, join and follow us.